week 2, we packed up the boats and we went up to a place called Oxnard. The Nard. The reason why we were up in the Nard was we were doing assaults on oil platforms. When we first got there, we had to check and see the state of the water that we were about to drop our boats in. It was a little sketchy. We're looking at a place right now where we're supposed to drop our boats, and it looks pretty sketchy. I'd say about 2 feet 8 inches there. If you guys take me through any more shoal water, I'm gonna quit the Navy. We slept at a Army National Guard air station. The Marines like to camp. I mean, Camp Pendleton. They camp everywhere they go. If you drive by Camp Pendleton, just look out there. You'll see tents everywhere. They just love to camp. So they gave us a tent, like a 12-man tent or something. They set it up for us. And I don't know. Sailor's nest. We don't camp. Half of us slept in the tent, and then the other half of us stood watch over the boats at night. I slept on the bed of a truck, and we just took showers with bottled water. Started the week again, like one PowerPoint, no big deal. The people from the oil platform came out and they gave us a speech, and the guys from the oil platform, they were just super pumped that we were doing it, and they were really accommodating as we like ransacked their workplace, you know. The major issue was the swells. So the swells in that particular area, they can grow really big. So us operating, we have a certain threshold to where if the swells are too big or too high, then we could be capsized and it gets real dangerous for us. When we would go out to sea, the swells would be within our threshold of operation. But the swells would start building and building and building. They would go from 2 feet to literally 10 feet swells. It's never good to catch air in a boat. It's just not good. A crappy boat driver will think that catching air is fun, but it's not fun for anybody. It's not cool. I mean, especially if you're at the front of the boat, you're a forward gunner, and you get smoked. Those swells were pretty nauseating. A couple of us got sick. I usually get sick. I'm usually the first one throwing up on the side of the boat. I didn't though this time. I think it's because I had my camera to my eye the whole time. I was like thinking about something else or whatever, but there were times when we're straight up looking up at the swells. So the swells became a major issue as far as getting the Marines onto the oil platform from the surface up, right? The oil platform has ropes that hang down. The Marines try to get from our boat to the oil platform by swinging. It's a tricky thing.
Yeah.
This evolution is very tough on the boat drivers. Our boat drivers have to keep our boat steady enough for Marines to get on and then not slam up against the oil platform and break our boat. Unfortunately, it's nearly impossible, especially with 10-foot swells, to keep your boat next to something still. What happens when you put a fiberglass boat up against an oil platform? It starts to crunch. The sea was brutal for 2 days, but it didn't really change our operations. We're still coming at you, still gonna make our assault. Doesn't matter. Even if it's way beyond our threshold, we're gonna come at you. The conditions were not good, but we were doing it together. And when you're doing something like that that's kind of painful together, I don't know, man, your bond becomes very close. First time I felt that our togetherness was not so much Navy sailor friendship kind of thing. It was like brother sister kind of thing. When you create a bond with people and the person next to you in the situation that we're in, and the person next to you is basically your brother or your sister, then you're way more likely to die for that person. And when that grenade comes over on deck, you jump on it to save your brothers and sisters. I think that's the concept. That's not in my nature to want to do that for people, but I would for these people. So, yeah, our bond has gotten close.